bada boom. Realest one in the goddamn room. How you doing? This is Seasonal Talk. I am your host, Thabreakmaster, and this could be the last Seasonal Talk for I don't know how long. We'll see what happens actually here. I have a discussion when it comes to Seasonal Talk and how it might change going forward, but we'll talk about that later on. Avatar, welcome in. Yes. I am ready for the spring season, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, stuff is looking very mid right now, and I'm not liking that. But I could be surprised. There are always like some hidden gems that are in the season, and then sometimes you just gotta watch the show. Sometimes the synopsis and other things of that nature don't play well, right? Sometimes watching the show gives you a better idea if you're gonna stick with it. So obviously, I'm gonna give every show I watch the 3-episode rule and see whether or not I'm gonna keep it. That's what I did with Buddy Daddy. And you know what? I've been enjoying that show. So we're gonna do the same thing here with the next season coming up at this point. But let's actually talk about this week's season and pretty much the end of it, at least most of it. There's like one show in here that's still not done yet for some reason. But again, we'll get more to that. Let's hit the goddamn intro, baby. And obviously, we're going to start this off. The show we're going to talk about first is The Goat. The Goat, as we already know, it's freaking Blue Lock. All right, come on now. This show right here has been something else. This season pretty much ended here, but there's really good news when it comes to Blue Lock. Really good news. I guess the show did really well because not only did we get an announcement for season 2 immediately, we also got an announcement for a goddamn movie as well. A Blue Lock movie. Now, the question is, when it comes to the movie, is it going to be canon? Or is it going to be just something that's like anime only type of thing and just give you more introduction to like the characters that we just ran into in this last episode? I don't know what this movie is all about, but regardless, more Blue Lock is better for us, okay? Welcome in, Fortunate. How you doing? Saturday for Hell's Paradise on Saturday? I am. That looks interesting. That is one of the ones that I've been keeping my eye on for the most part. So Hell's Paradise is one of the ones I will be watching here. But how you doing, Fortunate? It was apparently based off a light novel. Ah, it's a light novel then. So, but again, I mean, if it's based off of a light novel, then I guess it would be considered canon to some extent then. So we can actually look at this and maybe whatever happens in the movie is going to get translated further into with season 2 then, if that's the case. If that's the case, I look forward to that. But as y'all know, I missed last week. I was busy, but we're here today. Excuse me. So we're going to be talking about last week's episode and this week's episode. Not only that, we have 2 technical winners because I didn't do last week. So we have the winners for last week and for this week. So you got to ask yourself, which show is going to win Anime of the Week from last week and this week? You got to ask yourself that question, all right? I'm glad you're doing good, Fortune. I'm glad you're doing good. Well, I can, but not super important. Yeah, more than likely, but still worth watching given that it's freaking Blue Lock. It's The Goat. So last week's episode, as we know, kind of just dived into this whole battle with pros. So Isagi's team, I still call it Isagi. I'll say Ren's team. It's more Ren's team than it is Isagi's. But regardless, their team went up against some pros. They did score once. Granted, the question more or less because I actually have to ask the question now, given that what we know is what we know. All of the teams that did pass this selection did face against the pros. So my question is, how good did the other teams do in comparison to what Ren team did here? Because they did score once, but that was more so I think them feeling them out and seeing what they can do and allowing that play to happen as opposed to playing defense and just, I feel like they were going easy on them until they started not to. Because then after that, the whole game was just like they got mopped the floor. They were destroyed. They didn't know what to do. Like, Ren never gave up. Isagi was just happy to be there at that point, but he didn't realize that, hey, I need to stop doing that. That is not the way a winner is done. That's how winning is done, all right? And Ego is also kind of just telling them about what went wrong and why Ren is that guy, so on and so forth. So it's just like, it's a lot of building blocks that happened with that episode, and it was nice to actually see. And it's a lot of learning process. So it's a learning phase when it comes to these 2 episodes here. It's a learning phase, and that's putting just Isagi in a better position to be able to break himself down, to adapt, and to be better. Because that's how he is. That's just how he is. So with this other episode as well, last episode, the one thing I want to talk about right now, right off the gate, is the fact that Kunigami did not make the selection. He did not make it. He didn't get past this. He actually freaking got eliminated. And it sucks. Because there's other people here from Isagi's team that made it somehow. I don't know how they did it. That's my honest God question on how they even made it. I guess that is within season 2. We're going to have to see how good they have become to be able to be where they're at right now. Because Hunagami is actually great. But I feel like I guess he had a falling off after he lost Shigiri. Because that was his guy, right? So once he lost that, and he had to pretty much rebuild a whole entire team at that point, right? I guess the people that he had just weren't good enough to keep him around, and that's why he ended up losing. Because at the end of the day, you can't win by yourself. King learned that lesson himself. You can't do it all by yourself, and Kunigami can't do that. So it all depends on other people, and I just don't think that's the case here. We did set up for an antagonist for the next season with the colorful hair guy, which also the designs for the characters, new characters, freaking magnificent. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm enjoying it. Also, Quest, welcome in. But that was just a sad thing to see, and I'm just like I was frustrated, but at the same time, we knew at some point somebody we cared about was gonna get eliminated like that, and being at Kunigami, it hurts. But I guess it's better that it's not like Shigiri though, because I do like Shigiri. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I like Shigiri a little bit more than Kunigami, but it still sucks regardless. Maybe you might see him again. I don't know how they're going to do it, but maybe there's another way of being able to see him again. I don't know, but we'll have to see. We'll have to find out. We'll have to find out. All right, buddy. But overall, with both these episodes and how this actually ended, because I can actually pretty much rate this show now. Seeing as it did end, this is the season 1. We know for a fact there's a season 2 coming, so I can't really hate on how it ended because it's very open-ended. Because with how everything is, we also have the antagonist when it comes for Sagi and what he has to come overcome. But he also has to overcome this whole trial because they have to pretty much defeat a pro team, and this pro team has Ren's brother on it. So you already know this is about to be a whole thing. Ren is upset. He's like, "Oh, I gotta beat him! Holy crap!" So this team, one of these teams, obviously more likely Ren's team, is gonna have to defeat this pro team in order to actually keep Blue Lock alive, because Blue Lock is on the chopping block. They don't understand why we're spending all this money. So Ego said, let me just show you what this whole thing has become. What we did here has produced results, and you're going to see right now. So season 2, that's where we're going into. I'm looking forward to it. It's about to get heavy in here. Oh, man. I'm ready for the games. I don't know what they're about to do, but I see this thing about to get freaking wild as heck. Given how some Batra, for instance, was he was dribbling the ball and everything, and it just looked unrealistic, right? You already know this is about to get stupid in season 2, so I'm looking forward to it. But with this, I can say last week's episode, that was a solid episode. I can probably give an 8 out of 10. This last episode here, I also give him maybe an 8, 8.5. I thoroughly enjoyed it at the end of the day. Very solid stuff. As a whole, as a series, it's been a solid show through and through. Did really well when it comes to the characterization for a lot of the characters here and how they built upon this with Blue Lock and everything like that. The games were really exciting. The animation was pretty solid for the most part. I've loved the soundtrack within this show, and it fits it really well. I don't have a lot of negatives to honestly say about the show through and through, but I have to look within more as I think more about this show. But I think right now what I want to give it, given all the ratings that I have given Blue Lock and how many times it's won throughout this seasonal talk, I have to give a 9 out of 10. It's a very solid series. Definitely recommend watching. It's really good. Especially if you like sports animes, this is one of those ones you should actually not sleep on. Watch this show. Blue Lock is good. I guarantee it. All right, I guarantee it. I'm just saying. What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? So, what for the people that have watched Blue Lock, what would you overall give this a rating for when it comes to Blue Lock here? What is the overall rating for it? I'm giving a 9 out of 10. I think it's worth that. I think it's as good as 9 out of 10. This show is good. It's really good, and I like it. I like it a lot. With that said, though, let's go ahead and move on to the next show, which is Vinland Saga, the other GOAT. The other GOAT. This one's interesting for me. So this show also ended, right? So I'm gonna have to give my overall ratings for this as well. And I had to think about this a little bit. I was kind of talking to myself, trying to think where would I rate this as an overall like season so far. And I had to come to a certain conclusion that I didn't expect. But there's a reason for it. Because I'm doing a bit of a comparison from last season to this season, and once I explain this, you guys are going to understand what I mean by my rating and what I'm going to give it. Because again, very solid. Like both episodes were solid. I don't like what Canute is trying to do is some underhanded, some slimy, dirty bullcrap. Like Canute is a villain, and he has this whole motivation apparently that he wants to kind of like change the world, right? He wants to be a better place, but I think he's going to go down that same path that his father did at the end of the day. Like, yes, you need to do these underhanded techniques, these underhanded things to be able to make your reign last, to be able to get to the goal that you're looking for. But a lot of the times when people do this, when they get to that power, they lose themselves in doing so, because then they become constantly stricken with fear, or are constantly worried about somebody turning on them and this and that and the other. Like that distrust really starts to build up further and further. At the end of the day, Canute is only human, and he is bound and prone to have these same issues and to run into these same problems. That's why his father's head is still there telling him like, yeah, keep going the path you're going, because you're doing the same thing I'm doing, brother. You gotta be just like me. That's what's happening here. And I just don't think unless he's left if he's not like checked at some point, if he's left unchecked, he's just gonna become like his father. That's what I ultimately see happening here at the end of the day. And I'm scared for this. I'm afraid of this, especially considering with how this season ends. They're going to the goddamn farm because they're gonna get rid of it. They did this whole underhanded technique, underhanded thing here to mess with that field, mess with these people, to try to get them to like throw Torquil away, throw Oswald away, Oswald, right? Oswald away, and his father. It's like this whole like you didn't have to do that. These guys are not even bad. They don't want to have any confrontation, but he's like, nah, Saga, you gotta go. It's like that's why I'm not understanding what Canute's trying to do, because like you want allies. These suckers are non-confront. Well, Torquil. Outside of Torquil, these guys are non-confrontational. They're trying to help you. So I don't understand why he's just out here doing some of the weirdest moves. Some of the, like, what is going on here? That's what I don't understand here. Oh yeah, true. Actually, it's 24 episodes. That's true. Actually, there is more. We're not talking about. See, I'm out here tripping right now. Yeah. It's not over. It's not over. It felt like it is. But this is the first half, I should say. The first half here. And I do want to still rate the first half of this season, because there are some things about this I want to talk about real quick. But Vinland Saga is a great series. It really is. He lived long enough to see himself become the villain. Facts, Desto, facts. That's exactly what's going on here. To go Happy Farm. Skeleton overload. I don't know about all that now. Yeah, Torquil is a mad lad. He is He's a problem. I'm not gonna lie. Now, if that was what Canute's idea was, or what he was thinking, okay. Look, he is a problem. Granted, I'd rather have that problem being like serving for me, though, right? Like I would have him serve me. Don't make him an enemy. Like what? I don't understand the plays that he's trying to do. I mean, like that's the one thing I'm a bit confused on, because like he's going against his brother when I felt like at the same time, well, not going against me, killed him, but at the same time he should have just kept him around just a bit longer. Like he was assisting you in a lot of ways, and you should allow him to still be there as a proxy king even, and then eliminate him later, because he's gonna trust you. You could have done this literally at any other time. You know what I mean? Utilize the people that you have to be able to build your kingdom. I'm just saying, like, this is strategy 101. He's stuck out here making weird moves, and I don't know what it is. Like, if I was playing chess with this guy, I'd be confused. God, welcome in, Anna. Welcome in. But overall, I did thoroughly enjoy this. I see that apparently Oswald, he ended up actually getting his first kill, and they set that whole thing up, killing the king's messenger. That's the whole point of this whole thing here, why they're trying to get a crime on them. He finally did a kill. But what's interesting about it is that he ain't happy about it. He ain't proud of it at this point. He actually did it. He's more like his father than he realized. And he's not trying to fight. Torkill don't understand that. Torkill's all about kill. Nothing but kill. And he don't understand that about his father either. He thinks his father's a beast. His father is like, nah, sucker, I'm staying in the barrel and everything. So like, again, they're actually traversing back to their area, to their farm as well. Can they get there before Canute does? I have no idea. All I know is Thorfinn is over there, and he's about to probably run into Canute at some point. This whole thing's about to get bad. He doesn't want war, but he's going to have to fight. There's nothing he can do about this. He's about to be a free man, but unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the case here. It's in the farm. It hurts. It hurts where we're heading here, and I'm just like I'm concerned, and I don't want Thorfinn to have to go through all this all over again. But he's gonna have to, and he's gonna have to go into his beast mode and have to probably protect everybody here. I'm just saying. Between Thorfinn and Torkell, bro, look that army of 100 and something suckers they got going over there, they're dead. I'm telling you right now, they're not gonna survive that. So I don't know. Again, this is what I'm saying. This is some solid stuff. Both like 8.5 out of 10 for the last week's episode and this week's episode. Like I said, the plays that Canute is trying to do have me concerned. But for the first half, I will say this. Because we're 12 episodes in, right? I like a slower paced series. I like development for my characters. I don't mind taking the slow route to build up to these crescendos, to these moments that will start mattering really, really hard. You know what I'm saying? The fact that this is 24 episodes, there's still more to it. But I just can say this much, and it concerns me. I'm a fan of Vinland Saga. This type of stuff doesn't push me away. This is a big ask for those that watch season 1 going into season 2. This is very slow. It took a long time to get to this point, I have to admit. And I wish there's a little bit more meat that we could have had here, but I mean, we're here now. That's the thing, though. We are here at least. So I'm pretty sure this next half is about to be lit as heck. But I feel like a lot of people could actually make the argument of like skipping this first half of the season. I can see people saying that because it is on the slower end. You can summarize things that Thorfinn even went through, what Einar went through, what Oswald went through. You know what I mean? What Canute is now. You don't have to necessarily watch 12 episodes of this to get the understanding of what's going on here so you can start watching the other half. And that's like the argument I'm starting to see, or what I feel is going to happen here. And I think that's why people are actually starting to turn on this show to begin with, because I've been seeing some talks online, especially through Twitter, about how this show is just a little too slow. And it's a shame, because they're about to miss out and or skip through just to see like all the craziness that's about to happen now, right? But it's that buildup that matters more than anything else. But that is a con in some ways of how you tell a story and how slow the pacing actually is, because it is slow. I have to admit that. Canute and Thorfinn reunion is going to be interesting if it happens. Yeah, I do wonder if they're actually going to run into each other. I hope they do. They're both totally different people at this point, so it has to happen at some point, right? Thorfinn probably going to find each other and then get separated once again. Yeah, more than likely, they're probably going to run into each other, like have like a glimpse of each other, right? But they're never actually going to be able to have a full-on reunion. I don't see it happening, especially considering that Canute is coming over there and with an army of people. I don't see them connecting back in there on the battlefield. Honestly, I see Leif dying. I see him getting killed actually during this process. I don't see him surviving this. That's what's sad to say. And it's probably going to do another spiral for Thorfinn. Thorfinn's a different guy now. So, yeah, see, you're thinking the same thing. I think he's going to die. I don't see him surviving this whole situation. But for the first half, I do give this like a solid 8 out of 10, like first half-wise, with how they did this. I just look forward to seeing all this build-up start to pay off in the other half of this season, which I know is going to be great. This is why I'm a fan of Vinland Saga to begin with, because it gives us reason to care. And me, look at me, I'm concerned. I'm shaking in my boots, all right? So, solid stuff. It's a solid week of this anime when it comes to these shows. But is this the one that won Anime of the Week? Keep watching. Let us continue onwards to the next show. Yes. Anna, you might want to mute me here. We are talking about My Hero Academia. Now this one actually did end for real. This one did end. I look. This season, this season is actually done here. But man, what a ride this actually was. I have to admit, like, My Hero Academia. This was. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I think this is one of their best seasons they've had. I think there's only one other season that's better than this, but I think this might have been their best season thus far. If I'm being completely honest with you, this might be their best. It might be their best season. Season 7 might be the end. Might be the last. Wait, why you say that? Wait, why you say that? Wait a minute. I need information. What do you mean? Everyone though, his whole life, you was looking for Torb. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, he is a real one. 100%, man. Why do you say that? This might be the last season though? I mean, it depends on, I guess, how they do it. Cause I know this, like, the manga should be like getting close to the end, right? But no, like, I just want to kind of summarize some of this and just, I want to highlight how well the writing actually was. Because, like, the last episode here, this girl that got saved by All Might came freaking back and was like wiping All Might's like statue to make sure that people ain't desecrating that statue, because that was the last person that he saved as a hero. And what's even crazier about this whole thing, Stain was the one that showed him this. Like, he said, you ain't acting like a real hero right now. I'm gonna show you what kind of impact you've actually done. You better stop acting like this, because you're not the All Might I thought you were. So you better get yourself together. Even if you can't fight no more, you can still be a hero. He's a hero killer. This guy's telling you how to actually be like, it's so weird of an anti-hero or anti-villain. Well, what is he exactly? Because, like, he's not on the side of the bad guys necessarily, right? He's all about, at the end of the day, creating true, genuine heroes. That's what he wants at the end of the day here. And if you ain't up to snuff, he's gonna get rid of you before you even try to become some other bullcrap that he don't see that image of when it comes to you. That's why, honestly, he might really respect Deku in a lot of ways at this point. That he might even do the same thing for Deku. If I'm not, be honest with you, like, I'm surprised by Stain's characterization and what he's actually doing and what he decided to do to help All Might. Because All Might at this point now is getting back on the field. He wants to help. He wants to actually help in any way he possibly can at this point. Regardless if he can fight or not, he's going to make that happen. And that's because of Stain allowing him, putting him in that position to be able to see who he saved and the impact that has happened there. And that was such good freaking writing. I did not see that coming. I didn't see that coming, like the same thing I didn't see freaking Bakugo coming through. It's impressive. Like I said, the writing in this season specifically was actually really done well, and I just didn't see that coming. This is why I'm saying this might be one of their best seasons thus far, because this did a whole character arc basically for Bakugo. He now truly just respects his brother in arms, Deku. He puts him on the same playing field. He's even calling him Izuku. He's not trying to call him Deku anymore. He's putting respect on his name. It's like, look. Round of applause. Round of applause. I love how this has turned around. I was not certain, but the season so far was just solid through and through for the most part. It's just these last couple of episodes, they were really hitting on the story beat so well. This is what I'm talking. This is why we like My Hero Academia. This is why this show is as popular as it is. It's stuff like this. It's moments like this that make this show as good as it is. So I'm thoroughly impressed with it. I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Like, bro. Manga's in the climax. Okay, I figured as much. There's not enough material right now to make a whole season. So they'll, okay, interesting. Okay. I thought they were further ahead than that, but interesting. If that's the case, you know what? All good things must come to an end. So if it ends off well, then hey, I can't even make any complaints here. And if this is the last season, then I'm not complaining about it. Because, like, this has been a ride, and this season has been really good. It's been really freaking good. But I got a lot of hate in the beginning, but I always knew he was going to have the arc like this. See, my thing is, I wasn't sure. I've seen other shonens have these kind of characters, once they're built in a certain way, it's hard for them to truly change in that manner. You know what I mean? Like, one of the things that I've always kind of had a complaint about, like with One Piece, right, is Luffy's character. Luffy's character, though he has grown, he still acts in the same manner in a way that he puts his people in danger. He puts his whole crew in danger. I know he has belief in them, but the last time he's done that, Kuma got rid of them all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would think situations like that, situations when it comes to Ace that he couldn't save, would have a different outlook. He does listen more, so that's nice to see, but I feel like he still hasn't matured in a way to be more mindful of situation that he could potentially put his crew in. You know what I mean? Like, there's things about his character growth that it's just like, because he's still this character, they don't want to change him too drastically to where it makes him seem different. It's not, but that's not a bad thing necessarily. Character growth is necessary to do. That's the thing here. Oh God, yeah. At least I hope he did. Yeah, saying I was hoping for it too. And this is actually a great thing to see, because I didn't know we were going to get this. So that's why I'm so happy to see that they went this route with Bakugo's character. I enjoyed that greatly, a lot. So I'm again, from the writing aspects of this is probably one of the best seasons they've done so far. Saying just hate fakers, that's it. Yeah, he really just hates fakers. He's not really, like, so long as you're truly trying to be a hero and for the people, he's not even gonna worry about you. He's not gonna mess with you. Zane's like character design, his face too. I didn't realize it was him without his mask on, because his facial like structure is very, very interesting, very Jay Leno-ish. We laughed at the League of Villains. I knew he was going to go down that kind of path. He may be rough around the edges, but yeah, he's here at the end of the day, killing suckers. But he's here at the end of the day. Well, not killing suckers. I mean, that's Bakugo. But yeah, he's rough around the edges. But yeah, he's not that kind of guy. Again, he respects All Might greatly to that point. You know what I mean? So there's no. It would be weird for him to make that decision to go villain mode on us. Just finished Trigun anime, and me and my brother loved it. She and my friends dropped it. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that, Diego. We haven't talked about that one yet. So I'm glad you're here. So I'm glad you made it for us to have that discussion, because I want to talk about that too. I have some words about it, but I'll say this: I did enjoy it. But to rate this for My Hero Academia, I have to give it this. I think the last 2 episodes, no, the last 3 episodes are like 9 out of 10. All of them, all 3 of them things. They were all very good story beats. Even Uraka got story beat moments in here too. It's just like, this is what I was talking about when it comes to the cast and how you should actually utilize these characters, and they're doing something with them. They did a lot for it. That's why I have to give them like a 9 out of 10 for each of this. Like, it really started to pick up towards the end here, and this is what I'm talking about. Not even just that, because like there were some good fighting moments within the season as well prior to this. So it's like, honestly, overall, this season in general, I think I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. It's very good. It's very good. I enjoyed this a lot. I'm glad to be a My Hero Academia fan. You hear that? I done said that. Even though I criticize this show all the time, and I do. I was hating on this initially. You already know this, right? But I stuck with it because I do enjoy the show. I'm critical of things that I enjoy. You know what I mean? So even through and through, they pulled through and gave us a very solid season. This season here, it's good. It's really good. Yeah. You're talking about Bakugo in the last comment, not staying. I picked up on that and switched it up. But what would you guys rate this season of My Hero Academia? How would y'all feel about this? Are y'all in the same boat as I am? I'm curious what y'all thoughts are when it comes to My Hero Academia and what you would rate this overall, because I enjoyed this season a lot. This was good. It was rocky in the beginning for me a little bit, but saw it through and through at the end of the day here. With that said, though, we can now move on to the next show, which is, funny enough, Trigun Stampede. So Diego, let's go ahead and talk about this. This is also very interesting. You're starting on the current season. Yeah, Quest, you need to watch. It's actually worth watching. I can say it right now, like through and through now, it's definitely worth watching when it comes to the characterization and just seeing these moments. You got to watch this show, man. In my opinion, the season was a little rough in the beginning, but it really stuck in. I said the same exact thing basically. It was rough in the beginning, but that ending, it really came together all through and through. That's why I had to give it as high as a rating as it did, because it really pushed through and it started giving us all the greatest at the end there. But we're talking about Trigun Stampede here. Trigun Stampede also just finished here, and though there are some rocky moments with the show, I did enjoy it overall. And it is a shame. There's a lot of people that I've seen online kind of drop this series, and it's a shame that they did. It's an enjoyable series through and through. It's solid. It's a solid show. What's actually interesting about this that I didn't realize what they're kind of doing here, because the way they set this up towards the end of the show here, we're gonna get Millie Thompson. So she's coming back, or not necessarily coming back, but she's getting into the show. I see what they did. Technically speaking, if you watch the first one, the first Trigun way back when, what this kind of did here is retell a few things here. So like the events are a little bit different. Like the whole city of July, that was more of a vocal point in the original versus where it is now that this place got destroyed and everything, right? So things have changed like structurally wise, but it's kind of still going in the same path that the original Trigun is at currently at the moment, from the first one from way back when. So this is almost like a prequel to some extent, but not really. It's weird how they kind of structure this. But Vash has his old look back new look, or he looks like the original from when we seen back then, which is cool to see. You know what I'm saying? So we get Millie back in here. So Millie's fine being in the show. They just kind of like allowed us to build upon these characters first before we got into some more iconic moments that we remember from the original. So it's very interesting storytelling that they decided to do through and through in here. And this one kind of threw me off when I saw the fight with Nye and Vash in the first place, because I was like, this is not how I remembered it in any capacity at all. It's a lot different from how the fight was, especially considering that with how Vash ultimately started using the same abilities that Nye had, it threw me off because, like, we never even seen him do anything of that caliber ever in the entirety of the show so far. So there was not any hints at all that he could even do something like that, right? Granted, like, what I was thinking, he could have more, like, healing capabilities. Though, again, I watched the original, so I know he has the ability to shoot like laser cannons and other things like that. I know about this, right? But as like a new viewer that never watched that one before, it will throw you off that he all of a sudden has those abilities too. You can make the assumption he does, given that they are brothers or twin brothers, so he should have the same abilities. But he's much more non-combative than his brother is. So you would think he would have more non-combative type of abilities. You know what I'm saying? So I can see where like some of the misunderstandings can actually happen trying to watch this, then you see towards the end like all this going on here. You know what I mean? Right. I need more space westerns. Gotta watch out Bebop and All Stars. Yes. Those are go-tos right there. You gotta watch those. With the original in the high school. I'm happy it got a new adaptation. I'm happy it got a new adaptation as well, because I'm like, this, weirdly enough, I felt like it deserved a new adaptation with new animation, which again, there are people that hate the animation. They just can't get past it. It's really throwing me off because I'm like, the animation's actually really freaking good. This is actually a solid show through and through from what they were trying to do here. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's faults in it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I was just saying with the whole Vash thing, that's a bit of a, I wish they showcased that he can do a little bit something like that before we actually have him just be all out to be able to even kind of go against his brother in any capacity. You know what I mean? Because it made it seem like he couldn't even fight his brother given how this whole situation is. And it wasn't even like an actual fight, technically speaking, because what Nye ultimately wanted to do was protect his own, protect his plants. All of them are dying. He said, you know, these humans ain't gonna change. And Vash, and this is another thing that I criticize actually, Vash doesn't really give you a solid answer of how he's gonna fix the problem. He's just like, humans are going to do what they're going to do, and I'm going to do the best I can with them there. And the thing is, he has his perspective simply because he's actually been around them a lot longer and a lot more than what Nye has. Nye has secluded himself and doesn't even believe in humanity in any capacity because he's never even been around them to even understand them, right? Vash has been around them like that, so of course he's going to have a different outlook, which is why they butt heads so much in the first place. But it's just like, I wish that Vash had a better reasoning for why he's like trying to prevent him from doing so. Because at the end of the day, though it's selfish what Nye's trying to do, technically speaking, I see where he's coming from though. You know what I mean? And this happens a lot when you watch a series where there's like this just character. It's like Suzaku from Code Geass, right? There's a just character that wants to do good, but doesn't know how to vocalize it in a way to make you understand that we can make changes based off of this. I have a way to make this happen. Vash doesn't necessarily give you that, is my thing, right? That's where my problem kind of comes in with it. But it's not necessarily a bad thing per se, but it is a bit of a con in my opinion. Trigun has the same author as Blood Battle Black Cave. See, I haven't even watched that. I haven't watched that though. Yeah, Knives literally only knows hate. That's the thing. He only knows hate. That's the thing here. He hasn't been like he hasn't tried to even understand humankind. So that's why they're always gonna have butt heads. Now my thing is too, that moment with Knives going into like skeleton mode, that crap was like crazy, bro. But I have a feeling he ain't dead yet. I have a feeling if this is actually like a prequel in some cases, right, to the original, we know Knives or Nye is still there, right? So I don't know if he's gonna be in like some different form potentially. I'm curious how this is. Not to mention Vash is a plant, and one way they could probably make him survive actually is that he did technically connect with his brother, right? So there's DNA or something that's still there within him. He still has knives there. So there could be some way of him like coming back in some form that way. Not to mention also him killing Knives is a big turning point for his character because he never killed anybody. So that's his first time killing somebody and he killed his own brother. So that's always going to be something that he's going to hold on to. And I think that's what Knives ultimately ended up doing in the first place. He wanted him to always remember him in some way. And that's one way of doing it. So it might be just a connection. Let me see. I think the original anime better give Vash characterization and explanation for his. I agree. I actually agree on that. Because if I remember correctly, I haven't watched it in a while, right? But I have a feeling that if I remember correctly, I think they did a little bit better at actually explaining his pacifism and why he is the way he is and why he's trying to do that. I just wish they did a bit better here because Knives was literally asking him, why are you doing this? He's not giving him not a good reason at all. And that's the problem with it. That's the thing. I was just like, I hate when that happens. Yes. Yeah, more than likely he will be, because Legata was a pretty important character in the original, right? So I like to think that might be the guy that will be the dude. That could be the issue. Like maybe that might be another reason why how we can even bring him back. Like the doctor didn't even die. Actually, now I'm thinking about it too. So I think Knives is still gonna play a part in this, but obviously we're gonna have different characters come through because he was important. He was important. But again, I enjoyed this. This was a good, solid season overall. I give this whole season like an 8 out of 10. It's just been solid. I think I gave this thing like an 8 out of 10 all the time for the most part. And I think I give these last few episodes as well like an 8 out of 10 as well because like they're just solid. Like this is a solid show. This also sets up for the next season, which I do look forward to seeing. So it's good. It did its thing. This is the first half amongst Brotherhood. You're expecting it to already understand certain elements of the story. No, actually, that's the thing here. With Trigun Stampede, you don't really need to understand from the original to watch this because they change a lot. They change a lot of how the structure of the story is. So you kind of need to actually watch this first to even like understand it like in that capacity anyway. So you can understand this and watch this without having to watch the original because that's not necessary. It's not necessary. Also, C-Score, welcome in. I'm glad to see you here. What would you guys rate this though? When it comes to Trigun Stampede, what is your rating overall for this show? I like to know. But with that said, let's go on and move on to the next show here. What we got? What we got? Buddy, okay. All right. I'm already smiling. This show's actually not done yet. They have one more episode, I think. I think this show's only like 12 episodes, right? Because it feels like there should be like one more episode left, the way this is like getting set up. But regardless, I know this is not done yet. But boy, what can I say? This show has made a massive turnaround. This is storytelling. This is how you build up your show to make those crescendo moments happen. I was telling you guys for the like last couple of weeks how everything's starting to set up when it comes to Ray's family and everything like that, right? It's all coming together now, and it's like, oh man, they have to go against them because initially that's not what they were trying to do, right? So Kyo wanted to actually try to break this bond off with Miri, right? The mother came back all of a sudden with this episode, within the episode 10, right? Miri had to go back to the mother, and they tried to like wipe the slate and everything clean. Ray went back to go see his father. Father said, "Bro, you still got emotions for these freaking people here. I don't like when you have these ties still around you. They gonna make you weak. You weak." Therefore, they gotta die. And I was like, yo, I started sweating, bro. I was like, no, you gotta kill a child. And Saga said, yes, I'm gonna take that child out. Like, I was like, this man is a menace. Gil had good intentions. He had good intentions, but it's like it didn't matter. He tried to do that to see maybe that if Ray's father was like leave them alone, but no. So with episode 10, it was a heart-wrenching goddamn moment because they had like their last moments with Miri before they gave off to the mother, and they're like hanging out, and you knew what was about to happen, right? So like the whole time you couldn't even enjoy the moments that they were together, and you see how Ray was like he really cares about that child, and it hurts my soul. Okay, I kind of understand. Like I don't have a kid, but I understand losing somebody you care about. You know what I'm saying? I understand that feeling of when you have to let go of something, you know what I mean? So it hurt. It hit me hard. Okay? I didn't see that coming. And then with episode 11, it's just like, oh my God, the mother gets killed. She gets shot. And they're about to kill Mary, but they're freaking... They saved her at the end of the day. But boy, that now they have to go against the syndicate. Oh, not the syndicate, but this group. And I don't know how they're going to do it because Ray wants to stay a family with this is the family. This is them. He wants that. He wants to keep that. And so he's going to fight for it. And that's freaking beautiful. That's freaking, like I said, storytelling wise, the setup is freaking beautiful. 10 episodes in, and you're sitting here like, yes, you're feeling it. God dang. Okay. If you're not watching Buddy Daddy, you should watch Buddy Daddy. I'm giving it the seal of approval right now. I'm not done yet, but I'm giving it the seal of approval right now. This show's good. This show is good. Honestly, we keep doing the comparison with Spike's Family, because Spike's Family's getting a season 2 right now, right? Or not season 2, but it's getting another season, right? Look, this season, I don't think it's got another season, but this might potentially be better, at least a better season 1 than Spy Family. I'm saying it right now already, because like with episode 10, I'm sorry, I don't typically do this. Episode 10 specifically gets a 10 out of 10 for me. That was perfect storytelling. That was perfect setup. That was perfection from what I saw there. I enjoyed the episode so freaking much. I enjoyed it so much. You know what? I enjoyed it so much. At least for last week, Buddy Daddy's won. I was going to throw it out there right now. For last week, Buddy Daddy's won. For this week, I don't know. I don't know about that, though. For this week, I don't know. But last week, if I was reviewing it last week, Buddy Daddy won. This episode was incredible. I enjoyed this a lot, okay? And again, it's a show that y'all need to start watching. God dang it. My dad was the sleeper hill. It really is this though. This people slept on this so freaking hard. They wrote this off like a freaking Spike's Family ripoff. But this is so much more than that. And it's more grounded in a lot of ways. That's what makes it better, in my opinion, than Spy Family. Because Spy Family has a lot of like supernatural things in there. And like I said, like Miri's an actual child. So you really feel that childlike nature from her. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to how they had that whole thing's kind of set up in the first place. Again, she has abilities though, so that's why she's gonna act a little bit differently. But it's just still, she could be a better character. Miri's not a bad character in the show. She's not holding the show back, and that's something I'm surprised to even say. This is a goddamn child, all right? Like, god dang it. Yeah, you finally caught me live though, C-Scroll. I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you. How you enjoying it so far? It's a new adaptation and doesn't disrespect the original. I'll give it maybe like a 7.5 out of 10, like what they did with it. But they had a rough start and also vascularization. Yeah, I wanted to give it like a 7.5 out of 10 too, but I was like, I'll round it up to give it an 8. But technically speaking, if I were to be really, really particular with it, I would give the same exact rating for it, honestly. There you go. Because I did enjoy it. Like 7 is not even a bad rating, or 7.5 is not a bad rating. It's just, I don't know. I decided to give it an 8. It's like, why not? I'm eyeing the show, just waiting for the season to finish before. Yeah. C-Scrolls, it's worth binging. It's worth binging. This show, the turnaround of it is surprising. Like the first 2 episodes really threw me off a little bit because I didn't really like it that much, right? The 3rd episode was what hooked me to the show because I gave it 3 episodes. So I stuck with it, and I'm so glad I did. Because this show is really freaking good. This show is really good. I didn't expect it to be as good as it is, but this is something else. Like, this is worth watching. And if it's only 12, and if it's a show that's only 12 episodes, that's perfect then. You know, I don't even mind watching a short series like this that knows what it's trying to do and it finishes off well. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them back together. I want to see them live. I don't know how this whole situation is going to actually end off. Is Ray going to actually, like, take out his father? Like, how is this going to work? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many questions that actually you have to ask yourself what they're even going to do to try to preserve the type of life they want, you know? But yeah, this is good. Yes. Yeah. Like, funny enough, you say that, Quest. Like, I was looking at the comment section when I was watching the show. People were saying he needs to pull a John Wick because that's what we're gonna have to do here. Because there's only one other route. The father ain't gonna listen. So, like I said, episode 10 gets a freaking 10 out of 10 for me. Episode 11 gets a 9 out of 10 for me. But solid work. Freaking solid work. I'm loving it. I'm freaking loving it. Ray alone. Yes. Like, Ray is such a freaking good character. It's the way he opened up his heart to this child, and it's just real. Like that realization that come around is just so great. And it's like the callbacks, even I almost forgot about that. There's like callbacks from the first episode with their first conversation that we see them because they had the whole thing with the cat. Bro, writing 101. This is what you're supposed to do and how you make us care. Like, God, this is why the episode hit me so hard. I digress. Watch this show. Buddy Daddies is great. God dang. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Oh, no, I think actually not next one. We're done here. So if that's the case, since we're done here, the one that won this week for seasonal talk, the one that won this week, wrong button. You didn't see that? Turn that off. The one that won this week should be no surprise, actually, because it ended off really well. And that is My Hero Academia Season 6. Like, come on now. This week, easily, it was My Hero Academia Season 6. Like, that was solid work that they decided to do. It ended off really freaking well. So, obviously, it gets the dub here for this week. But last week, we already know Buddy Daddy had that. I'm just saying. I guess I gotta say, this is why I like the thumbnail we have here, right? This season has been really good. Especially coming off from last season. Last season had nothing but bangers, right? But this season did not like disappoint me. It did not disappoint me. It had really good shows in here as well. So this is what I'm hoping this next season coming up, right, can give me the same feeling here to make me care about these shows here. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot I've seen on the list that I don't know if I'm gonna watch. I know I'm watching Hell's Paradise. I know I'm gonna be watching Demon Slayer, right? I know I'm watching at least those two shows for a fact. Mashless looks interesting enough that I might give it a shot. Granted, I wish the animation looked better. You know what I mean? But like, these are like the three I'm looking at. And I'm like, I might give this a shot. Oshi-no-ko is also another one because I was reading the manga initially on that. Oshi-no-ko is one I do want to actually check out and see how the anime, how they adapt like this story, because the story is very interesting. I will give it that. So I will, like, those are the ones I know for a fact that I will be covering and watching. So I will be talking about that for next season. Those are the 4 shows. I keep forgetting to catch up on My Hero Academia. Bro, you need to, look, you need to catch up. You need to catch up on it. You need to catch up on it, man. We need a My Hero Academia, like, watch along at this point. Because I know Quest is behind, too. So, like, Quest, maybe that could be a thing at some point here to try to catch up on. Season was a surprise. Yeah, it was an honest surprise to me. I didn't expect this to be this good. And it just hurts because this season could have been even better if freaking Nier Automata was actually just, like, consistent. Like, it's on break again. That's part of the reason why I'm not talking about it, because I didn't bring that up. But I'm not talking about Nier at this point anymore because I don't know what's going on with their schedule. And they keep having these problems here. So it's just be a waste to keep trying to talk about it when it's not consistent. So I'm just gonna leave it alone for I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm sorry, man. It's like Nier Automata, it's just like RIP to it. It's struggling right now. It's freaking COVID, bro. COVID. That's all I got. Oshi-no-ko, Konosuba, Demon Slayer, and Hell's Paradise is really I'm interested in the spring season. See, I haven't watched Konosuba, so I couldn't like watch that show, is the thing here. But we're pretty much watching the same thing, it sounds like, than Avatar, if that's the case here. That show is similar to One Punch Man, but with magic. Interesting. I can get started tonight. Well, there it is. Hey, C-Scroll, if you're not busy, we might have a My Hero Academia watch along then for the season. I don't know where you're at actually when it comes to I don't know where you're at when it comes to this. You know, I don't know how far back you are for My Hero Academia. So near, but so far. Okay, buddy. You know what? Here you go. Yeah. God dang it. So interesting that you say Mashal is similar to that, because like the trailer that I got for it, like from what I saw, it reminded me of like Black Clover, right? But in a style of something else. I know it wasn't One Punch Man. But it reminded me of Black Clover a lot, because Black Clover deals with like magic and all that stuff too. I can't remember what the other show was that I said on stream, but it's like a mashup of those two shows. One Punch Man is interesting. So if you say that, then that means the main character is like really OP then. Because I was getting the feeling that's what it was kind of going on here, that he's just like that kind of strong. So I don't know. We're going to have to see how I don't know. One Punch Man works because Saitama's way his characterization is, and that he wants a worthy opponent. He wants to find somebody as strong as him. He wants to fight somebody like that. Because otherwise he's just bored to death. He wondered why he even gained this much strength to begin with. You know what I mean? So I like his character. So I'm curious if Mashal is going to be in the same way that the main character is going to be like that too. I don't know. I have to see. This is why I got to watch it. I got to at least give it 3 episodes. Been playing Nier Automata, starting root. Oh, snaps. See, I need to do the same thing, Diego. I have the game. It's funny. I have the game. I just haven't played it. I haven't beat it yet. So I need to mess with it. Okay, you're on episode 3, because you're not that far behind. Last thing I watched was the All for One fight. Sea Squirrel. Well, I'll say this. If you watch that, isn't season 4 that one like high school and like that one high school arc, and it had that one villain dude that doesn't really matter. I can't remember his name. I believe season 4 is skippable, to be honest with you. If I remember correctly, because like that stuff, like a lot of it that didn't really matter that much in it, like the grand scheme of the story, actually. If I'm being honest, season 5 is worth watching, because I believe season 5 was the one with My Villain Academia, if I'm not mistaken, right? So you need to see that and see Shigaragi's character and everything like that. So you need to see that. So yeah, like you are behind. We can probably like fill in some gaps if necessary, if that's the case. Unless you want to just watch all of it, you can. I'm not saying you shouldn't. All right. Regan the King is coming back too, but I'm only watched only a special, not a full. Wait. Wait. That's not a second season. I was hearing it's a second season. Why is Regan the King's not a second? What we doing here? What? Last I watched was the Buddy Daddy with the whole kid sport today. Oh, okay. Actually, you're actually almost done with it, or you're almost caught up with it. Then, if you're at that point, that's like, yeah, you're like a couple episodes behind. You're actually not that far behind. Quets. I've been watching Welcome to the Demon School. See, I haven't watched that show. I ain't watched that show. How was it? Been watching Vinland Saga. Friends also dropped it, but I just love the slower pace. And I was just talking about that day ago. That was like my slight gripe with it. I personally enjoy a slower paced series to give us those moments when it finally starts to pick up. It starts to make it more impactful. It makes it matter more. You know what I mean? So we need moments where it's slow, but it's 12 episodes of slow paced progression for these characters. And unfortunately, I have to give it a bit of a con because it is slow. Like, don't get me wrong, it is slow. I enjoy it, but not everybody else will. It could have been a little bit quicker on how it could actually told its story. I will admit that. But it's still some good stuff, and it's a shame for those that are about to miss out on some of the greatness that's about to happen here in the second half of Vinland Saga, because Vinland Saga is about to go in. Vinland Saga is about to go in. I'm just saying. So first, now things are ramping up. Yeah, exactly. Maintain his new power. I could be wrong, but I thought it was just special. I'm wrong. Okay, up on the 6, I heard it was a season. That's why people were so hyped about it in the first place. That it was actually a season worth of a. Why is it only 10 episodes though? See, this is one of the things I have not necessarily an issue with, but I don't understand what's going on with seasonal anime as of late, right? Like the scheduling and timing for everything's all over the place now. It is legitimately all over the place, and I don't know what's going on with the structure of these seasons now. Like I've been in the game for anime for a long time, and this is the most like wild I've seen the seasons be like have been. Like everything's like out of place. It's so weird. It's so weird to see. But like I said, this has been a good season. I've enjoyed this. I look forward to the next season. I'm just hoping that there's another sleeper anime that's out there because I only got 4 shows. So we can fill in 2 slots with new shows here. So if you watch the show, right? If you watch an anime with the upcoming season that you think I'd be interested in, please tell me about it. Please tell me about it in the comment section. Hit me up on Discord, on Twitter. Like, if there's something that you've seen that you think I would like to know. I would like to know. And I'm glad you like that, Sea Scroll. Demon Slayer was apparently only 9 episodes, which is true. Technically speaking, yeah, right? It was pretty much 9 episodes, which is like, again, that's what I mean. It's like, what has been going on lately with these, like, this season? Like, we're not even giving us a proper full 12 to 13 episodes anymore. We're just, like, kind of structuring it in such a weird way nowadays. Which, in a way, because we're getting more actual canon-like material, like, we're veering away from filler at this point. We're not doing filler. Like, a lot of shows that are long running, they're not long running anymore. They're trying to get rid of that, it seems like here. So that's why we're at this point in time doing like structured anime where it's like 10 episodes, 9 episodes, 11 maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it's a weird structure that they're doing here. I don't know if a show should be binge or let it cook on a weekly basis. I don't know. So, Diego, for me, I had to process that real quick. For me, I don't particularly like binging shows. My main gripe about binging a show is that you don't digest the information the same way that you do if you were to watch it weekly. Because watching it weekly, it gives you time to sit on it, have discussions about it, to allow you to actually understand everything that's actually going on within the show. When you're binging the show, there are going to be things within 13 episodes, 24 episodes, or anything longer than that. You're going to forget some things. That's the nature of the beast when it comes to binging a series. So I don't typically ever try to binge when I can. I try to avoid that as much as I can, right? Or I don't really prefer it. Not to say that it's not something that is necessary at times. Some people only binge shows. That's just what they do, and they can remember stuff like that. But from what I've seen when it comes to the community, I've seen it happen more so than not where it doesn't really pan out well, that people forgetting mass details about something, about a character even, right? That you just sidestep because you don't really care about, so you don't remember that information like that. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. This, like I said, watch Konosuba. I mean, how many seasons does Konosuba have right now? Hey man, I heard there's this great seasonal anime coming up called. All right, Saga. I'm not even gonna worry about what he just said here. I find it funny nobody talked about Tokyo Revengers this season. I'm sorry, you're cracking me up because I'm one of those people. I mean, it's funny because I did initially start talking about it, but then I said, you know what? I'm not gonna review the show. Look, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you, right? I don't like the main character. I don't like Takemichi. He's actually so annoying as a main character that he takes me out of the show. I'm not gonna lie. And then I told you about how I felt about Tokyo Revengers initially anyways. The first 12, 13 episodes of Tokyo Revengers is actually great. I enjoy it. That first half was great. When it goes to the second half, that's when it starts to become very redundant and things that could have been prevented, like Takemichi didn't do. Like he was not utilizing his ability at all very well in that second half of the season. I was just like, it made no sense for some of the stuff that happened there. It was dumb. Like there's some dumb things that Takemichi did in that second half. That's like, I can't, like the first half, like the two different characters almost. Because in the first half, he would be more proactive versus in the second half, he was like so, like he was not proactive at all. He was not doing it. He just allowed events to happen. It's like Saga. So going into this next season, I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. I watched like 2 or 3 episodes and I was like, you know what? I don't really feel like talking about it or covering the show. So I was like, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Funny enough, I was just talking about like binging and I don't typically do. Tokyo Revengers is probably one of those ones I'm waiting for the dub to be done so I can just binge the show. Because that's what I did last time. So I'm gonna probably do that and then see how I feel about it. And I have a feeling that I'm gonna have the same feelings I did before. Because Takemichi is just he's not a good main character. I'll be honest with you, he's not good. He's just not good. This man's trying to save this woman, right? But he can't help his lust to try to lust over other women at the same time. It's like, stay consistent, sir. I digress. I digress, all right? Aren't there any African Americans. I mean, there actually is. I mean, Blue Lock just had one right now. What you mean? But welcome in. I'm gonna assume it has 26 episodes and movies, but the new season is a prequel, so you could oh, wait, why is it a prequel? Wait, what? Interesting. Okay, I might have to see. Okay, I might check it out then. The fact that it's like that, I'll check it out then. I thought we were further ahead. I thought I had like 3 or 4 seasons or something, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to take my time with this one. I might watch that then. Dr. Mickey is a crybaby. He's a crybaby annoyance. Like there's a lot wrong with his character that I can't, like, he can't fight. You're in this whole gang affiliation type of thing, and you're telling me after all this beat downs that you've taken, right? You still can't throw a punch. How are you not learning to fight? Like, it legitimately doesn't make sense to me. Again, Takamichi's annoying. I don't understand. I don't understand. Also, OVAs. OVAs are super sus. Oh. So you're telling me maybe I shouldn't watch those OVAs then? Oh. Okay, so that's 5 shows. I forgot Ray Zero season 3. I saw that. It came to me literally just yesterday. That there's a season 3 for Ray Zero. So I'm more than likely will be covering that as well. More than likely. I'll know for a fact I'll be watching it at least. I will be watching this. I like Ray Zero. Ray Zero is a good show. He's actually, this main character, I like him a bit better. Granted, I don't agree with his decision on who he decided to be with, but that's another discussion for another time, right? But I do like Ray Zero, so I look forward to seeing that. They're fan service, but they're funny, at least to me anyways. I mean, I don't necessarily mind fan service. So it just really depends on what kind of fan service it is and what we're doing here. Not to mention, it's an OVA at the end of the day, so it's not like within the main series. So it depends on how much they're doing when it comes to fan service and how I feel about it. Because I don't necessarily mind fan service. I've watched many of shows. I don't think I want to say this here. Actually, I was about to throw a show out there, but I'm not even gonna say it out loud because I don't know if I want to say it on the YouTube platform because then y'all gonna start judging me. Wait, is it not this season? Because again, it was weird that I didn't hear about this before in the first place, right? So it kind of threw me off. I'm like, is this really come out this season right now? I was not prepared. It's the same thing with well, we already knew about that one though. That's Mushoku Tensei. We knew about Mushoku Tensei, but I just didn't know that Rizzo was coming out. But hey, Andy Mari, not Andy Oregon, all right? But the champ is still here. How you doing, Andy? Welcome in. We're just actually having a bit of a discussion on what we'll be watching for this next season. You have any shows that you've seen on the list that you want to watch? Any ideas? I guess got advertised chilling in my 30s out there getting what? Getting fresh from Demon King's army or Hercule and I feel attacked. Yeah, wait a minute. What is the name of that show? And I do feel attacked too. Excuse me? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that. Look. Again, these titles are getting out of hand. These isekais gotta calm down with these titles. Like, who is naming these shows? Oh, just Demon Slayer. Oh, come on, Andy. Expand your horizons and watch something different. Watch something new. Watch Oshinoko. Come on, watch Oshinoko. You might like it. Just give it a shot. Give it a shot, Andy. Maybe that one anime with the guy with the bird head. With the bird head. What show was that? I know I saw it actually. I can't remember what the show's name. I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what show was that? Based off the name, technically it would be a true fantasy anime. I mean, yes, I guess true. I guess it really is the case here. You're right. I don't know about that name though. Like I said, these names be throwing me off. When it comes to these isekais, I don't understand why they make them so freaking long for one. Like, why is that a trope or why is that a thing they do? Like, is there a reason for why they do that? Because I have no idea. I would like to know if anybody has information on that, on why isekais are named as long as they are. Please tell me, please. It's a will I though. God dang it, Andy. This is why you need to be in the watch party sometimes. It'll make you experience new anime. All right, Andy. God dang it. Shoko going to be great. It's by the same creator as Love is War. Yeah. I've been hearing that. like I said, I was actually reading the manga because that show I got recommended by a friend, or the manga I got recommended by, and I started reading a little bit of it, and it's an interesting premise. It's a very interesting premise. It can be a little bit weird though. I don't want to say what it is because the twist for it is what matters. It's what matters the most actually. So you want to know what this twist is before I actually say it, because that's what makes the show interesting, right? So that's why I don't want to say what it is yet, because it's best you experience yourself with no information. Big Daddy loves you. Excuse me? Junk food version of anime. Hey, what you mean by that? What you mean by that? Heard it used to be that light novel website didn't have a description section, so authors would just put the description as a... Wait, really? That's bootleg as heck. And so they are stuck with it the entire time. They say, you know what? This is going to be our thing. This is why our titles are going to be 50 characters long. Because, like, why not? My father used to be a demon king, but now he's working at Walmart to then rule the world one paycheck at a time. That's the name of the show. That's the name of the show right there. Look, I'm writing it right now. We're putting this in the works. We're putting this in the works, and we're gonna write that show, and we're gonna enjoy it. Look, we're gonna enjoy this. You're gonna see Demon King in Walmart, guys. He's gonna wear that jacket. God dang it. Heard Dalmachi was good this season. Oh, see, it's so funny. I actually dropped that show after season 1. I haven't picked it back up since then. I mean, this show's not even that... Dalmachi's not even that bad of a series. I'm just surprised that it's going as long as it is. I didn't know it was going to like be this popular, but hey, I'm glad to see it. I guess still go. It's better to see that than Rent a Girlfriend. Rent a Girlfriend needs to end. I don't want to see another goddamn season. I don't want to see another goddamn... That show is so annoying. I don't want the main character in there. That show gives me anxiety. It gives me stress. I can't watch that show without just getting annoyed. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right? Like, Rent a Girlfriend gotta go. All right? I'm saying this right now. You said now was a thing. It is. That's interesting to know, though. I'm glad you had the information for that, because I was really curious of why we have it like this, but I don't necessarily mind. Well, I do mind it, actually. I just don't understand why we have to keep... Like, we can change from that. It's hard to remember these names of these shows, okay? It's not easy to remember this stuff. God. I like season 1 Dalmachi. Yeah, season 1 wasn't even that bad. It's just like, it was one of those shows that got buried in the other stuff that I used to watch, right? Because I was watching so many other animes, and there's other better animes I was watching at the time that I didn't bother to kind of like go back to the show in the first place. I thought it was all right. It wasn't bad, but like it didn't hold my interest like other series did. That's the thing here. It is something I should get back into though, given that it's still going as it is. I was gonna say something, but maybe not on YouTube. Now, Andy, what are you thinking? I'm actually kind of curious. I watch Rent a Girlfriend when you can live it. Look, I don't know if you want to live that necessarily. We shouldn't be renting people. I mean, if that's what makes you happy, I get. But like, luckily, I don't have to worry about that. All right. Yeah, I'll just say it that. I'll just say it like that and just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I just know that Rent a Girlfriend is one of those shows that I don't understand why the show's still going, because it's like, boy, it gets on my goddamn nerves. Like, it really gets on my nerves. But all right, if that's what y'all are watching, now we know. And like I said, keep me on the up and up on what is actually current and what's actually going on, what's good. The seasonal list that I saw didn't actually add any Netflix series on there. It didn't add any Netflix series. So if there's a Netflix series that I don't know about that I need to watch, please tell me about that too, because I think there might be something coming out here. That's the thing here. I don't know why it's never on the list when I look at the list of anime for the next season. They never actually add that for Netflix for some reason. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Also, going back a little bit, they said, oh, Jolene who? It's funny you say that because, yeah, like that JoJo Fridays got killed by Netflix. And this is part of the reason why I don't like binge-worthy, like binge content in general, because it messes up the flow of a show. Like, some shows need to be weekly. Not all shows need to be watched in a binge-worthy, like, type of manner. Some, like, especially when it comes to anime, I feel like anime works so much better at the end of the day as a weekly series as opposed to binging it all at once, especially when it comes to JoJo, because that literally killed all the momentum of JoJo. No one talked about JoJo at all. It's a shame, really. It's a shame. And then again, I don't think it's a Netflix only thing. See, this man was looking for goddamn Ultraman. I mean, he like Quest watched all that kind of shows. Dang, what? YouTube was running ads for a week or two for an agency offering Eastern. Wait, what? Wait, nah, what? Excuse me? YouTube? See, how is this stuff but see, here's the thing. That's the funny thing about that. Technically speaking, guys, if I were to spend money, I can run ads too. I can have my own ad on YouTube, but you have to spend money to do so. There are companies at times, something like that even, right? Could actually spend some money to then get ads covered on YouTube. Sometimes they don't even vet the ads, so certain things will get through. I'm pretty sure you guys, if you guys have watched like stuff on your TV using through Google Chromecast, for instance, I'm pretty sure you guys experience like a 10-minute ad, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2-hour ads. You can skip them, but they're not ads. They're videos at that point when they're that long. I don't know how the heck they allow that stuff to go on, but people pay to make that happen. That's why it's there. So I'm not even that surprised that they decided, you know what? We're going to have ads like that. We're going to make it happen, Captain. Look, you need some love, right? I mean, I've seen some really sus ads. I mean, funny enough, that one with the Makima promotion, where we keep seeing the backside of like all these characters, like that's pretty sus in of itself. But look, it's out there. I'm just saying, this, if you pay for it, you can have pretty much. I don't know about any ad, as long as it's not straight on porn. I guess like you can have it up there. You can have it up there. So I finished part 6. Really need to get back into it. I hope they do something better for part 7 because I know that's one of the most hyped parts. It would be shame. Yeah. See, the thing is, part 6 is not even that bad. Stone Ocean, I don't think is actually that bad of a series. Granted, there are some very nonsensical things in here. Even for JoJo standards, there are some nonsensical things that happen in the show that don't make sense, actually. Like, sometimes you're like, oh, it's just bizarre. No, like, there are some things like literal writing errors happening within part 6. It's kind of weird what they decide to do here. And then, like, especially when it comes to, like, the nerfing of Jotaro, it's very annoying to see. It's very annoying to see, but I digress. I do hope part 7 is good. Like, I look forward to a specific thing to be animated, and I want them to keep it exactly how the manga had it. Because god dang, it is bootleg as heck, but I need to see that animated in its entirety. Because if you know what I'm talking about for part 7, you know what I'm talking about. Because it's like at the early stages of the manga. It's very early on. And it's like, bro, excuse me, please do not change it. Please do not change it. I hope they do it right. And I hope that if Netflix does have it, David Production's still on it. They still keep the good animation. They just got to make sure that they have this on a weekly basis. I'm telling you, JoJo Fridays is a thing. They did this. Look, they rectified it and did good with Vinland Saga. So let us continue that and make JoJo great again over there, right? In that sense, right? Bring that back to weekly basis, please. It needs that more than anything else to keep that conversation going when it comes to that show. It needs that more than anything. I haven't part of it was story, so I'm waiting for the season to be done. Then watch the whole season. Like I said again, like to each their own. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I just do believe, especially when it comes to anime, it works better, especially considering that you can digest it and understand it a lot more than binging a show. Because a lot of times you do miss things when you binge something. That's just the name of the beast of doing something like that. Because you're watching so many shows, so many episodes at one time, it's hard to remember everything. You know what I mean? Scott Pilgrim's anime is coming, so technically it's anime. Wait, Scott Pilgrim is getting like an animated show? Interesting, I did not know about that. Shangri-La Frontiers, Casino Hunter. I know what Shangri-La is all about, but like, I don't even know anything about this anime. See, Diego, keep me on the up and up on that. Keep me on the up and up on that. If it's good, please tell me. Like, if it's solid, I want to check it out then, if that's the case here. I haven't heard anything about that show. Pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, so, okay, good. So long as someone knows what I'm talking about, because it's so bootleg, but it's perfect for JoJo. Like, they gotta do it, bro. Everyone's doing more weekly shows, so there's hope that... Yeah, exactly, right? I've noticed that they're doing that now, and I need them to keep doing that. Stop with always putting it in a binge-worthy type of, like section, because it just makes it to where it comes out pretty much when the end of the season's done. So it's like you could just actually air it here and there all together anyways, and then for people that want to binge it can watch it later, because they're going to watch it later anyways. So it's best of both worlds. Binging is a habit I've unfortunately gained. See, I mean, it's not like I don't binge stuff myself either, but it's just like I said, I like the conversation for it. I like to talk about my shows weekly. I like to understand the show through and through and all the nuances that they decide to throw at you. Like right now, I read Chainsaw Man on a weekly basis, and if I was binging it the entire time or something, I would have missed so much information, which I did. I initially, when I first got into Chainsaw Man, I was behind, so I had to binge read a lot of that stuff, but I didn't understand certain things, and I didn't understand like the Makima fight. I didn't understand necessarily Denji and his whole power and how that whole thing ended for part one. Like there's so many things I actually didn't understand, and then I went back to make sure I understood it and watched videos to understand exactly the story of what was going on here. Now I have a much greater appreciation for all the characters because I understand it a lot better than I initially did, because I took the time to understand it as opposed to just binging it and try to keep up with the conversation. Because that's what people do sometimes, where they'll binge read, binge watch stuff to be caught up on current stuff to then talk about it, but then don't understand or miss nuances that are there. Because there are things in the show, things in manga that you will miss. It happens. It happens. Oh, it's a fall anime? Oh, okay. So we have to wait. You have to wait then. Hey, what? Hey, welcome in, Shin. What are we doing? What are we doing, Shin? HBO should have the right. Wait, you want HBO to have JoJo? Wait, why? I'm actually curious about that. What's going on here? It's satisfying to binge something, but I admit my patience waiting for releases has gotten worse. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I do feel that same sentiment. There will be those moments where I'm like, I need to see the next episode. Like right now, actually, I need to see the last episode of Buddy Daddy. I need to see it now. I have to wait. Oh, like, because it's so good. Like, come on now. Come on. Still here just cooking? What you cooking over there, Anna? To be honest, that happened to me with Demon Slayer manga. I binged in like a weekend. Definitely affects. Yes, it affects for it does. That's just the name of the game. It literally happens. Like like people will be like, "Oh, I remember everything." No, there's things you will forget. It just happens because there are certain moments that will stick out to you that you will remember more than other moments. Because those moments are not. Sometimes moments that happen in a series are not always grandiose. They're not always something that sticks out to you. You know what I mean? It takes a moment for you to actually digest some information at times. So when those moments happen, but you're also, binge through reading it or binge watching it, you're gonna miss those moments there. It just happens. Like it happens to everybody. It is what it is. We just got back from walk with the wife. Dinner now. Hey, okay. What y'all about to eat? I prayed for Chainsaw Man Tuesdays for double Chainsaw Man content, bro. Bro, we were eating so well when the anime and the manga were just going at it back to back every week, bro. Oh. Those are good times. There were good times, man. There were good times. Like, bro. I miss those Chainsaw Man Tuesdays. I love the fact that we even have Chainsaw Man Tuesdays because it's just a good moment, you know? Yeah, we have a lot of fun with the week-to-week discussion for Chainsaw Man. Yeah, exactly, right? I freaking love discussions. That's like one of my highlights every time on Tuesdays to talk about, more so than sometimes even my Twitch streams, maybe. Because it's just wild over there in the Wild Wild West. Like, my Twitch streams are way different than my YouTube streams. Just want to throw that out there right now. No, to be honest, the next thing I'll watch might be Buddy Daddies. Well, Andy, I'll say this much. I give Buddy Daddies a seal of approval. If you like Spy X Family, you'll like this show. I think even maybe better, possibly. It might happen. It depends. It depends on what you're looking for. But for me, this show is amazing. Like, the Buddy Daddy, it got really good. Like, it took a minute, but it got really good. That's all. In Another World might be an anime that you might like. It's actually finished, but each episode has like 3/4 short stories. Wait, 3/4 of short story. Wait, what do you mean? What kind of structure of an anime is this? Beginning of show is the same as studying for a test the night before. You'll remember all the material for the test, but don't ask me what the material was. Yes. 100%, that's what it is. That's what it is. Your attention, you're not going to hold that information that's there. So to then talk about it is going to be very difficult to try to like bring it back up in conversation. What? Anna, that's perfect. That was perfect. Perfect explanation. Ooh. Okay, pasta with chicken. Okay. Muy caliente. That sound delicious. That sound delicious, Shin. Oh, like me cramming for an exam right outside of class for the I can't lie. Majority of the time when I was in school, what I did was do exactly that. Because I know how my memory is. My memory's not always the best, right? So to make sure I do good on a test, I always try to bing as much as I possibly can the night before or on the day of before a test so I can pass that thing. So I usually pass if I do that. There are some things that I'll remember throughout the weeks of me, like, you know, trying to learn and everything like that. But I always learn best when I try to put myself under the fire like that. And it worked. It worked. All right. I remember very little from that class. God dang it. What about this? You may forget what happened in the show, but that just means next time you watch something, it'll be as enjoyable. I mean, to a degree, because like you do have like a deja vu moment where you're like, oh, I've seen it. Like a good example, because I did binge watch this, was Alice in Borderlands. Alice in Borderlands came out as an OVA, as an anime for like 3 episodes, right? I binge watched that. I don't remember every little detail about the show. Granted, that show's not that complex. You can get away with watching shows like that, right? If they're not that complex, it's easier to digest and understand and to remember. So for me, I actually remembered a good portion of that series. So when I watched the live action, I had a deja vu moment. So I'm like, I swear I've seen exactly this story before. I just couldn't pinpoint where I seen it from. So when I looked it up, I realized, oh, there's an OVA anime for this. I knew about this series. I didn't realize this is what that was, though, because I couldn't remember the name of it. You know what I mean? Because my retention for it was not all there. But now that I know this, now I remember, like, oh, okay, now it's all coming together. Now it's all coming together. So, look, I still enjoyed it nonetheless. That's the thing here. So, enjoyability factor always differs from person to person at the end of the day. Like, my rating system, I try to be as unbiased as I possibly can. Even though I know I sound like I'm like super excited and I'm giving such high ratings and this and that and the other. I do try to be I try to be as unbiased as possible, and I look at it from a storytelling perspective. When I try to look at it from the characterization and what they do for the characters and what that stuff means and how it all kind of comes together. This is why I gave like Buddy Daddy that episode 10 specifically like a 10 out of 10, because that was perfect. Like how they woven the entirety of the show, everything that we saw thus far for the characters all came full circle within episode 10. That was this like masterful writing. And like I said, again, from just the episode, the first couple of things they said came back around within the episode, really meant a lot when you actually finally see it here and what happened with the turnaround. You know what I mean? So I look at it from these perspectives, not necessarily just based off my own enjoyment, because even though I can enjoy something, doesn't necessarily mean you would enjoy that, is my thing here, right? Like, one show that I enjoy is Tiger and Bunny, right? That show is not that great. I'll be honest with you. Like I enjoy the show, don't get me wrong, but the show's not that good. It is very predictable, but I enjoy it nonetheless. I like the superhero elements of it. I like that we have actual sponsorships within the show, which is kind of interesting to see. Kotetsu T. Kaburagi is one of my favorite characters in anime. I like that guy a lot. He's like a really good father in a lot of ways, and I like just his personality, and it's something that I like to see myself in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I see myself as that character in some cases a little bit at times, right? So that's why I like the show. But if I actually rate it in a sense of like how the show actually is structurally, from the characters, from the stories, there are a lot of side characters that are just not doing that well. They could have done a lot better when it comes to the characterization for these other side characters. There are some that didn't really get no development at all. It's the same thing I have with My Hero Academia, actually. Though I have problems with it, I was critical of that show, right? I did ultimately enjoy the series nonetheless. So that's kind of how I view things a lot of the times. If you ever wonder how my rating system is, which is why I don't give 10 out of 10s very easily or often, for that matter. Also, making honey garlic chicken. I'm about to make that too at some point. When my box comes, I have that exact meal. I'm gonna eat that, and I look forward to it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna plate it up and make it look nice though, and mine's gonna be looking like trash. But that's not a here or there, right? That sounds good though. Yeah, y'all eating real good. I'm gonna have like some fajita. I'm gonna have some fajita food, like just fajitas. Like I don't know what vegetables, but I'm gonna have some fajitas. I know that much. So I just remembered I binged all 3 seasons of Gretzko in like one night. Now that's just insane, Andy. I used to watch that show. I kind of dropped it though. Welcome in, Thumbs. How you doing? How easy or hard it is for you to change your opinion of a show with another watcher or someone else's experience of mine? That's actually a great question because this actually happened to me. Granted, the opinion only got better the second time I watched it. Weirdly enough, right? I watched the Death Parade. Actually, Andy knows about this. Because we watched this through this anime club thing I did with Pink, right? I already watched that show when it first came out, brand new, right? I like that show a lot. I believe I gave it like a 9 out of 10 the first time I watched it because it's a very good series, like through and through. Episode 11 specifically, really I think it's episode. It's either 10 or 11. There's a turning moment that happened in that show that neither of them were good, and you're just like, oh, that crap blew up. I was shocked by that. But no, that was like what 2013 when that show came out. We watched it a few years ago, back now, right? The second time watching it was actually better than the first time because I guess I have more maturity, right? I have more understanding of what I'm watching. I look out for different things. The way that was like structured, how they planned this whole thing out with the characters and how there are little subtle details that I actually missed the first time around when I first watched it. It's like, bro, that show's better than I anticipated, which is why I think I ultimately gave it like a 10 out of 10 at that point because like that show's incredible. That show's amazing. I almost like teared up towards the end with how Deckham and how his character like came full circle and so needless to say, what I'm trying to say here is that yeah, sometimes watching it again, you can get a greater appreciation for it, especially considering that we didn't actually binge watch that. We watched in like sections, but technically speaking, but like rewatching something, you'll catch things that you didn't realize the first time around, which is why even if you are binge watching it, if you do go back to it, you'll be fine. I mean, that's me with Chainsaw Man. I went back to understand Chainsaw Man. That's why I love the show, love the series as it is now. So it's not impossible for that to happen. You got to go back to check it out then. I can easily fixate on a show, manga, hence the binging. Probably also why I don't watch a lot because I know it'll consume my time. No, I feel you on that. So wow. We like our trash. Yeah. Look, we we all like a show that is like not that good, but like, hey, it's my show. Like that's the show here. Like I never. Like I said, I don't knock on anybody liking any show. I try my best not to. I be playing around, but I, like for real, I don't want to like knock on anybody's like series. If you like Fairy Tail, for instance, I think Fairy Tail is trash, right? But if you like Fairy Tail, then hey, watch the show. If you know and you understand the show's not that great, but you still like it anyways, then all power to you. You understand that. Like not every show has to be a 10 out of 10 for you to like it. You know what I mean? It's all about the enjoyment factor that you get out of it at the end of the day. So, add some chicken. In Korean style. Okay. Korean style. This man out here making sure he's out here setting it up. It's about to be delicious. All right, sea squirrel. I'm doing good. I have been discombobulated all day for some reason. But why is that? What is going on in your mind, Thumps? What's going on in your mind? Also, I heard some interesting information when it comes to Nana, but that's something I have to bring up to you later. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I be getting emotional when I think about it too. The quiet hits like rewatching something as an adult that you yeah, that person remember as a kid. Exactly right. That's why I went back to watch a lot of different shows. There's a show that used to air on G4 TV. It was called Magical Shopping Arcade in Nabashi. I don't know if anybody even knows that show. That show is so obscure, but it has a great opening. I rewatched that show a few years back. I'll admit, the show is actually kind of worse than what I anticipated. Like when like it's just a gag. It's like a gag series, but like I remember back in the day when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, this show's good. Watching it again, I was like, I see why I liked it because like again, teenager me, I was when you're a teenager, you have feelings, you have certain emotions that you want to let out, you know, and that show was doing something because of like what they were doing with it. Look, the whole point is it wasn't as good as I remembered. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. God, God damn. Say what you will about Death Parade, but the opening is goated. Yeah, that Death Parade opening. The Death Parade opening, actually ending is good too, but that opening is goated. It's one of those ones that you remember. You remember it. All right. I feel like I'm always chasing that feeling because to me personally, it's an even more exciting experience. Interesting. So this is why you kind of like are in the agreement of like binging something so you can just rewatch it again because it gives you that same type of feeling again with it. I mean, I had a greater appreciation, for instance, for like even Cowboy Bebop as another series that I watched over again because I wanted to understand it. Because I didn't understand it completely when I first watched it the first time around, and then I watched it again with a friend, and I understand the series a lot better now because I did that. You know what I mean? Yeah, nostalgia is a hell of a drug. That feeling is something else. I will admit that. Okay, about nostalgia, I got a hot take. I grew up as a Pokemon kid, but later in life, I tried Digimon on my friend, and I had to admit that Digimon is way better written. You know, that's not even a hot take, bro. I feel like if people actually gave Digimon a chance, they would say the same thing. I watched Digimon a little bit, and I can even agree to that the show, I mean, it actually has continuity, and it does actually progress. That's the thing about Digimon that Pokemon doesn't do. Like, Pokemon, we get stuck with Ash, and every time we get a new series, he's still 12, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really evolve as a character, necessarily. Whereas in Digimon, they actually do evolve as characters. Like, I know it's kind of funny I'm saying evolve, because, like, there's Digi-Evolution, but you know what I mean? Like, there's actual stakes and stuff that actually matter within the show. That's why the show's actually just better written in general. Like, I will say that much. Not to say that it doesn't have its moments where it is like episodic or whatever the case is, because it was trying to do something similar to that, but it had more stakes and more story elements to be told there, especially when it comes to the digital world. Like, come on now. There's so many things and routes that they could take when it comes to that. That's why there's so many movies that come out that have that same type of premise. You know what I mean? Look, Digimon's better than people even realize, but people don't give it a chance because they just think it's a ripoff of Pokemon. That's the problem here. Fairy Tail is trash, but I still enjoy at least the early stuff. See, I try to enjoy the early stuff. So my thing about Fairy Tail, right? The reason why I don't like it, I gave it a good 5 or 6 episodes. The problem I had with it had all the tropes of a shonen series packed into one show. Like, there's so many tropes that you don't typically always see like in one series, but they had every single trope that you can think of in that show, and it was annoying as heck. And then there's Ecchi in there all of a sudden. It's like, I don't know why it's there. it's just like there's just so much of that friendship power bullcrap. It's just like it can get annoying. It can get annoying, and it didn't help that I've watched like Naruto. I watched Law Ueki. I watched Katekyo Reborn. Like, I watched all of these other shonens. There's so many shonens I've watched. I've watched a lot of shonen. So then going into Fairy Tail, seeing all the same exact tropes and not even trying to change them, that's why I thought it was just lazy to me. It was not good in that sense by itself, because they don't do anything about those tropes to make them different. That's like my main problem I had with it, and that's why I couldn't finish watching it, because it was just like, why watch this when I can watch a Naruto, when I can watch a Bleach, when I can watch a One Piece, when I can watch any of these other shows that Toriko even, right? I can watch Toriko. You know, like, they're not doing anything to reinvent the wheel for shonens. Even though I don't even think it's necessarily like a shonen to that extent, but it has shonen-esque everything in it. Like, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Looking at something with fresh eyes and without nostalgia goggles really can give you a new POV. Yeah, 100%. I always try to do that with myself, right? If I do decide to, like, rewatch something, I try to clean the slate, give my all, and give my honest opinion about this stuff. And I do go back to watch. So I always want to see if something's good like that or not. Case in point, we actually talked about Code Geass recently, right? I recently watched that show, and there are things in there I don't even remember happening. There's characters that survived I didn't realize survived. So it's like it's one of those situations where I just said, you know what? The show's not bad, but it's not as goated as I feel like everybody kind of gives it, because there is some nostalgia-ness that happens there when you reminisce over the series. Because there are some missteps within the show that I have talked about before. So we're not gonna do that though. We're not gonna do that though. That was about nostalgia. Yeah, it's a hell of a drug, but new views for more yeah. And like I said, and again, if you have a different perspective in life and the way you think, it's gonna change your perspective on how you watch a show too. So that can change something for you. It's not like you can't do that. So divulge fun stuff about me again. Nothing she shares about me is taboo. I'll tell you if you ask. Yeah, exactly. Thumbs. I know. But it's one of those things where I was like, I'm about to bring that up there. We might have to have that interview after all. I'm just saying. 100% agree on the Digimon take. I'm just saying. People sleep on Digimon way too hard. I sleep on it. I'm not even gonna lie. But I'm out of the picture of Digimon and Pokemon, so I'm not really messing with either or. So it's not like I'm like in there. But when I was more enjoying in a way Digimon than I was Pokemon at times. I will admit that. Even as a kid. Get to the latest season. It's like a monster set of mech anime. Ooh, interesting. Okay. I think I was discombobulated today because I had to work in all area that I'm not a fan of. Plus, thinking about other things too. Well, I hope that you are being able to wind down a bit, get that discombobulation out of there, and I'm hoping you're starting to feel a little bit better about situations and what's going on with yourself. You know what I mean? I hope you're feeling better. It's in general here. Fairy Tail is good as a slice of life show. Just ignore the fights. How you ignore the fights? There's a lot of fighting in the show. What do you mean? Those are like grand moments. Oh, okay. Well, that's 2000 Digimon movies. Guilty pleasure, bro. Don't get me started, bro. Don't get me started. That movie's kind of goated, bro. Watch Fairy Tail. It's made me not to. Wait, what? A shipper? Not about it. Only reading it to see if there are any progress. Wow, really quick. Wait, you actually reading this? Wait, what? I did not know you actually were like messing with Fairy Tail like that. Interesting. I did not expect that. That's part of the reason why, like, I'm not gonna lie. Hiro Mashima is the creator of Fairy Tail. He also made Rave Masters. If I were to watch Rave Masters again, I probably wouldn't like the show because I watched it when it was on Toonami. You know, you can rave about it. You can rave about it. You can jump for joy. You can sing about it. You know, like I like that little English or outro they had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember Rave Masters. Rave Masters wasn't bad. I felt, right? Probably rewatching it, I'm probably thinking it's gonna be trash, right? I have a different perspective on life. But like, he has a new show right now out, and I tried to watch the first episode, and he had that same stupid trope of a guy named, oh, I'm a horny man, but I don't know what I'm doing kind of thing. I'm grabbing boobies. It's like, I'm tired of this trope. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Eden Zero, that's the name of the show. Eden Zero, that's the same character, same creator. So if you like Fairy Tail, watch Eden Zero. You might like that show. I'm just saying. Feel like I need to finish Fairy Tail. Blew my mind when I found out about the Digimon movie was like 3 movies combined. Looking back at it, it does make sense though. It does make sense. They look at the structure. They were thinking about it. The show has a lot of thought process in it. It's impressive, all right? Girls definitely has that iconic status given its impact and popularity at the time it came out. But yeah, looking back on it, it has many flaws. No, yeah, like I said, it has many flaws. I give it an 8 out of 10. Like, the show's still good. Don't get me wrong. But like, people say this show's like a 10 out of 10. It is one of the greatest animes of all time. And I'm sitting here like, we are going a little too crazy here. Like, I don't know if that deserves a 10 out of 10 necessarily. Again, I don't give 10 out of 10 to many shows, or if any, for that matter. So it's like you're going a little hard there. You know, relax a little bit. All right, come on now. I hope Fairy Tail, but you're right. It didn't change anything. No, it really didn't. Like I said, like I don't knock anybody for watching it, but like, these are just the reality of like how the actual writing is, and like Hiro Mashima's the way he writes. That's just how he is. That's what he does. I haven't really seen him kind of change his writing style at all. And like Eden Zero reminds me a lot of the same within Fairy Tail within that show. But I watched only 2 episodes of it. And I just couldn't get into it from how they try to structure the first episode and the twist that was in there, which wasn't bad necessarily, but it wasn't that great either. You can kind of see it coming. So. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if the show is like a decent show, is my thing. Heard that person who made our war game for Digimon movie made Summer. Yeah, I think so, right? Because it makes sense. It makes sense, especially considering how Summer Wars, for instance, it plays a lot into the Digimon-esque type of like structure. Honestly, I think that I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. That's relatable quits. You just want to see for the relationship. I feel you on that though. I feel you on that. Eden Zero is way better than Fairy Tail, at least the manga. The anime isn't the best adaptation. Interesting, really now. Really now. So you're telling me the anime is actually faltering, which again, I talked about this before on stream, but when you adapt something, and there are certain ways you need to adapt it, because certain adaptations can be bad and just ruin something for you. Promise Neverland Season 2. Promise Neverland Season 2. God. So I can see that happening here. I don't know. Look. All right, look, it happens. All right, look. Service happened today while I was at work. That affected your person. Trauma code blue happened in young dude. Around break age. Oh no. Well, no wonder that's like. Well, I'm surprised you're even in here right now. Again, I hope that you are able to, get that under control. I'm sorry to hear that. Eden Zero is just Fairy Tail, but in space. Yes. I feel like that's kind of what, like, from the 2 episodes I got, I didn't usually do look, I dropped it before the 3-episode code. I'm not gonna lie. I should have watched the 3rd episode. But from what I was seeing from it, it just felt so Fairy Tail that I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Yeah, I hope you're doing good, Thumbs. I'll be happy to talk to you and to do the interview whenever you want to do a break. All right, bet. I got you, Thumbs. I got you. The guy who did Digimon Season 3 did Serial Spirit Lane. Oh, see, I heard really good things about that show. My younger brother Ace actually watched it, and he gave me his thorough opinion on that series, which is, it is good for its time, but there are some weird things that go on about that show. But it is something I need to watch. I haven't watched it yet. That was going based off of what he was telling me. I mean, messed me up in the best way. I want to do a full review each episode. Interesting. I guess I have yet to watch the show, actually, so it wouldn't be a bad thing to actually, like, go ahead and try to, like, talk about, I haven't seen it at all. That was Season 2 Promised Neverland. Season 2 Promised Neverland was just, I don't know what happened, all right? I don't know what happened. I don't want to talk about it, right? It hurts my feelings. Season 1 Promised Neverland, goated. Season 2, throw in the trash. Like, god dang. And you ever watched Vision of Escaflowne? Man, I need to watch that show. I haven't watched Escaflowne yet. Yeah, it's still as good as I remember. I heard good things about that show. I have a friend, Squeeze Pop, I think they go by, but she loved that show. That's one of her, like, favorite shows. I need to watch that again. I gotta go, but I'm gonna make phone calls now, but I must support you with the bandwidth and the good view. Hey, thank you, Thumper. I appreciate that. Funny enough, though, we're about to probably head out ourselves, too. The stream is actually 100. It's been an hour and 42 minutes long, actually. I don't typically go this long when it comes to seasonal talk, but this is the potential chance for it to be like maybe like the last hurrah, maybe. And this is something I need to actually jump into right now. But Thumper, see you around. I recommend going in blind for Elaine then. With the note that it's a little abstract. Yeah, I figured as much. The way that show is like kind of like set up, I wouldn't be surprised it is. Let me see. I'll read the manga first and promise. Yeah, I'm glad you read the manga first too, because at least you understand what happened at the end. Then you have an understanding of what you saw. Because I don't know what the heck I was looking at, bro. I'm an anime only, so I was like, what the heck is this? Bro, I'm gonna listen to the song here. Here we go for Digimon. Yeah, hey, go do it, man. Go do that. But no, so when it comes to seasonal talk, I will say this, that it hasn't performed as well as I would like to, as I would like for the channel here, right? And I feel like that's partly my fault. So there's going to be some changes with this setup, what I want to do with it. Funny enough, Thumper's in here. Thumper gave me something that allows like certain moderators to actually make this more into a show. So I'll have like another like camera angles and other things like that. So there's going to be some changes I want to do with it to make it look more professional, right? I want this to be an actual show that you guys can interact with at the same time. You know what I mean? So there are some changes I do want to do with seasonal talk that I will start implementing within the next season here. So same thing when it comes to thumbnails and everything else of that nature too, because I know that my title and thumbnail are not matching up in the way they need to make it more intriguing for people to click into this stream to actually watch it in the first place, right? I do put timestamps, but I have been lazy on that. So I've been dropping the ball a little bit on just the structure of what I've been trying to do with seasonal talk. So that's why I will take a step back, reevaluate the situation because I want this stuff to grow, right? So with the help of you guys even being in here, liking, commenting, sharing stuff around like this in the first place, you know what I mean? It helps a lot with keeping this stuff going in the first place. So I want this thing to start popping up a bit more, get more people up in here to have more of a conversation. So I know that partly at the end of the day, I need to make some changes with this. So there are going to be some changes with this setup within Seasonal Talk specifically that I want to do. So that's what I'm going to try to do here. We'll see within this next season how it goes, but I want this to start producing something because I told myself that when I start doing this YouTube stuff, I want to take it seriously again. I want to go all in and push this type of content I'm trying to do here, right? So I need to start doing that is my thing here. So that's why I might, like the way I might structure it, because I might still talk about like each episode, right? But I might do shorts of it and just give you my quick rundown of what I thought about it, and you can see it from there. So it's more individually based. And then I can tell people that, hey, if you want to see a more in-depth discussion, you go into the Seasonal Talk to be able to see more in-depth discussions of the shows that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I want to do something like that. That's the thought process I have here, that this should start producing something more. So what do you guys think, though? What do you guys think? Bro, let me see. Digimon, oh my God, are the champions. Change into digital champions to change the digital world. Okay, I'm gonna get freaking copyrighted. Just doing that song. I gotta stop. Hope we get a good rhythm going for it. Grow and evolve is one of the most fun things about creations. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, one of the things I didn't do as a content creator is try to change up scenes, change up how I do stuff sometimes, right? I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again, right? I don't want to keep making the same mistakes that I've done for this past decade of my content creation, like life here. I've done YouTube for a long time. So I know what I need to do to try to change it. I understand the algorithm, how it looks for certain things. So I need to start actually utilizing the stuff that I know, the knowledge that I've built upon for all the times that I've done content creation, and really utilize it and make something out of this. Because I want this to work. I want this to be like something I can actually utilize and use and become partner and you know what I mean? Like, I want this to be something here, and I'm trying to make this work, and I know I need to put more effort into my YouTube side of things because I've been doing stuff on Twitch that has been working pretty well. So I just need to start doing the same thing for my YouTube side of things here. So I'm gonna get this thing going here. That's cool. Do what you gotta do, man. Just don't put yourself too hard. I'm trying not to. But look, you got to push yourself to be able to get to the next level. In order to get to the next level, you got to put that work in. You use timestamps as well. Yeah, like that's what I was used to do. I used to actually have timestamps in the sections here to know, hey, if you want to hear this conversation, just click this, and you can see that specific like talking point, and so on and so forth. That's why I try to have my thoughts like not interrupted and then go back to the comments and then talk about it. I also want to be able to actually pick out comments and then put it into like on my stream so you can see it. So I'm actually showcasing what I'm replying to as well, so people know what they're looking at. And then I also want to use this platform to then make it into like even like a podcast at some point as well. It's like I have ambitions, I have ideas, and I want to make this thing work. Growth is always good. Exactly, Anna, exactly. So I just wanted to throw that out there so you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to do. So if you start seeing changes actually happen here, it's going to be like, it shouldn't be like too jarring here. You know what I mean? But I will say this, I will be relying more so on my moderators more than ever when it comes to what I'm trying to implement here, because this is a show and I want this thing to work out here. Also, it'd be nice to at some point also get guests on Seasonal Talk to talk about, you know, the week's anime and stuff like that, or talk about a discussion or a hot take even, because we haven't done hot takes in a minute, but I would like to do something along those lines as well. So I want this to be a whole kind of production type of thing. So this is the kind of things that I've been thinking about here. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys that stick around, that enjoyed these Seasonal Talk discussions. I had a lot of fun with this. Do not get me wrong. I had a lot of fun with this. Some of the hot takes and some of the things we went back and forth on is freaking great. I love discussing things. You know what I mean? And I am not one to be stuck upon my opinion. So if you can give me something to change my opinion, I can do that. I will change my opinion on whatever I feel. Because if you give me reasons to believe you, I'll believe you. You know? That's the best type of discussions you can have, is those that you evolve. You have a greater understanding of something. And I want to be able to actually have that be showcased here in the break room on the YouTube channel. And that's what we do here. This would be cool, especially for hot takes. Exactly, Desto. That's what I'm thinking too, right? So I kind of, oh, what, Shin? You would like to be a part of this? Because like I said, I am looking for guests at this point to make that stuff happen within the next season. That would definitely be something they could do here. Quets, you definitely evolved as well, man. That would help out. I'm just saying. Kind of reminds me of what Pink does with their K-pop podcast stream. Yeah, exactly, right? So I need to figure out what she does exactly to make that stuff work, because I haven't utilized some of that stuff, but she has a good structure of what she's doing. So I want to be able to make this into a certain type of structure as well. Give you $20 to change your opinion. No, you're not gonna buy my opinion, sir. So change your opinion about pineapple on pizza then? That is something that's not gonna change, because pineapple on pizza is actually goated, and I can't believe you'd even think to say that to me. That actually hurt my feelings. And I thought you knew me. Let's write up summaries for myself to bring to. Oh, really now? That would be perfect. That would be perfect then. All right then. Again, when it comes to guests and everything like that, I also want to make sure to promote it beforehand so people know. Same thing with all my seasonal talks. I want to start promoting this a bit better. So that's a good idea. I like that. Yeah, make sure to like the stream. Yeah, exactly. That helps a lot. You guys don't realize how much that actually helps. When y'all do that for my Chainsaw Man stuff, like, people start finding out about the channel a lot more because there's a push for it. So like specifically liking and actually being in here engaging really helps push this stuff forward. And I'm telling you, like, thank you. Oh, the biggest, if you have me, yeah, of course, that's though. If you're okay with talking on a microphone, that I wouldn't mind that at all. I'll just put like a picture or something on the side or something like that. But I wouldn't mind. All right. With that said, for real though, if you guys could, real quick, like this stream here. I'm gonna get the heck out of here because obviously I got work tomorrow, so I gotta make sure I start getting my stuff together. I gotta cook my food, and I got other things I gotta deal with, if you know what I mean. So again, like this if you can. If you've seen the entirety of this stream in this video here, right? Say in the comment section, leave me a comment that says in-game. Put in-game as the comment for this video here, so I know you've seen the real thing, that you've seen it all, that you're a real one. All right. And follow me on all the social medias, because I have other social media platforms out there. I'm on TikTok. I do promote and post stuff over there as well. And we out here doing things. Appreciate you guys being here. Drink goddamn water, take goddamn vitamins, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, people. End game. Break out.